welcome back to my channel again. So after my last tutorial, me asking if you wanted an eyebrow tutorial, I literally had tens of thousands of people and subscribers emailing me and commenting. Like, people were coming up to me on the streets like, Hannah, please give us what we want. And I was like, fine, I guess I can put aside some time to please you. Actually, in reality, nobody asked, but just take a seat and watch, okay? As you can see, my brow game is thin, it's frail, it's dying, it's decaying, it's fine. Could really use maybe a couple weeks in the gym, maybe a new 7-day regimen, but that's fine, because that's why before we lay our head to rest at night, we lift a hand to the Lord and go, thank you so much for allowing us to draw them on and lie completely about who we are. So, I digress. I really have 3 products that I've used for a really long time that I really love. First and foremost, my ride or die, my homegirl, my BFF, is the Anastasia Brow Definer. I just feel like, one, the color payoff is way more than the Brow Wiz. You don't have to use as much product to get what you want. It's so versatile, it makes 3 different strokes, and I don't go through them as quickly, so they tend to last me longer. I've had this one since January, so I love this product. And then to set that, I always use the Anastacia Brow Gel. This is just a clear brow gel that is like glue. I mean, it is going to gorilla those things down. Nobody wants like flyaways, hey, hi, I'm the gross eyebrow hair that's sticking out from the outline. Like, that's not cute. The last thing that I really love, the MAC Prolongwear Brow Set, and I am in shade Quiet Brunette. This is, again, a brow gel, but this is tinted. I can just brush this through my brows, and it really clings to each brow hair and just kind of makes it appear thicker. I feel butt naked if I go out into public with nothing on my brows. Like, it's an insecurity. So I have to have something, and this is quick and easy. It's waterproof, so if like I'm at the beach, it's not going to start streaming down my face and give away all my secrets. I don't know what to tell you. So those are my 3 favorite products. So let's get started. Up close and personal. It's fine. I'm not insecure about it. Honestly, my brows, you never know really what you're gonna get. Each day I feel like it's a different brow, a brow roulette, if you will. So I'm excited to see what's gonna happen from today, but I can at least walk you through the motions of how I start and do them. When you're doing your brows, the kind of general rule to measure out where the brow should land, the inside should be aligned like with the inner corner of your eye and the side of your nose. And then keeping it here at your nose and looking straight, the arch should go through your pupil and up that way. And then the tail, you go to the corner of your eye and should end there. If you break it, who freaking cares? Just saying, if you're looking for some guidance. So I'm gonna start with the brow definer, and this, my friends, is why you always keep a backup. So the brow definer has 2 ends. One is with the triangular shaped brow product, and then the other end you have a spoolie. I'm gonna start with the spoolie end, and I am just going to brush all my brow hair upwards because I wanna start with my underline, and we want that to be the sharpest, and I want it to be right where the hair starts to grow. So I like to brush everything upwards so I can really see the shape of my brow, my natural brow. I like to start drawing my line not at the very beginning of my brow where I want it to start, because you have to be careful in this front area because you don't want it to look too harsh. I'm gonna start by drawing it from like right here, so like a third of the way in. And I am just gonna make a sharp line going down to the tail of the brow. So this is kind of set a base for where we want the bottom of our brow to be. And I do that with the flat end going towards the back of the brow of the brow definer. Then I am going to leave it flat and push the product up. So using the widest part of the brow definer and just kind of lightly filling in all of that negative space. And then I'm gonna take my spoolie and just kind of spread it around and really make sure it's getting in all those little hairs. Then I am going to brush down on my hair, but this way we can really see where the root of our hairs are growing so that you can try and make the most natural shape. So I'm going to again leave it flat, and I kind of stroke downwards at each root and kind of map out where I want it to be. This is where it gets a little interesting. As you can see right here, I have a bald spot on my brow. I just have no hair that grows right here, which is a very important part. It's where my arch is. So I'm going to fill in what I want my arch to look like. So I'm gonna start from up here where my arch should be and trace down to the tail of my brow. And I just like keep building that up until the arch looks like how I want it. I like a very smooth and fluid arch. A lot of people like when they're more angular. You can do whatever you want, whatever suits your face. But I like when it's more even than a fat inner corner and that gets really super small. I feel like it kind of looks like a tadpole. Nobody wants tadpole brows. So I'm gonna continue to build up that arch until I am pleased with it. And again, always going back in with that spoolie. So now I'm gonna kind of move in towards the beginning of my brow. I personally feel as though this is the most challenging part of eyebrows just because I don't have very thick hairs and they can look very harsh very easily. So the first thing I'm gonna do is kind of very light trace out how far I want my inner corner to go in. Then I am going to lightly flick upwards and just fill in the space. I kind of draw a light line of where I want the top to connect. And then last, I'm going to turn the brush upside down and flick lightly upwards to make like hair-like strokes. And then again, I'm gonna take my spoolie and really make sure that's all blended together. Starting this brow, I did want to mention, as we all have all heard here on YouTube, brows are sisters, not twins. Nobody in the world has two identical brows. That's okay. We just struggle to make them look as similar as possible. Like this brow, it has a naturally better shape, but I have this chicken pox scar right here, so I have to just constantly be looking at this brow and try and make them as even as possible. So I'm gonna finish up this brow and then we'll move on to cleaning up the lines and making it look. So I'm gonna go in with this MAC Prolongwear concealer in NW20 and a flat Sigma definer brush in E15. I just squirt a tiny bit, lightly dip the tip of it in there and just get a little bit on there. Then I'm gonna start really carving out that bottom portion. Like right here, I don't like how curved this is in. I want it to be a little bit more out. So I'm going to kind of erase it. Now that I have that baseline, I'm going to take my brush and just start flicking it downwards. And towards the tail, sometimes I'll just get my finger and tap out that concealer so it doesn't look harsh, like we have like this weird halo around our eyebrows. I knew whichever brow that I didn't show on camera would be my favorite brow, so typically this is the better one, but today I like this one more, but it's fine. It's bad to favor one of your children, you know? Last but not least, I am going to set my brows with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. Sometimes if I'm wanting to go super bold, you guys are like, yeah, because that's not bold. I will lightly put a layer of this over it, especially towards the front of my brow since those hairs are really sparse and sad. I am just going to run that through my brows, lay them down. And then I really focus a lot of it up here to make them stand up and look alive, ready to thrive. I'm also gonna grab a pair of like tiny scissors like you would use for lashes, and as you can see where I've brushed up with that brow gel, my front hairs are much longer than the tail of my brow. And do not do this if you have never done it before or if you never take care of your brows. Like, don't just go in with scissors, honey. Like, honey, very lightly snip the top of my brows to be even with the tail. I keep up with my brows myself. I've been doing it for a really long time. All I needed was one bad waxing experience and cried myself all the way home because I had pencil brows and it was not 1994 anymore. It took me a very long time to grow them out and to get used to them being as full as they do. I'm gonna go finish my makeup really quick and I'll be right back. All right. That's better. Now that I don't look like a man, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. You know, I know that I probably wear my brows a little bit bolder than the average person, but I mean, come on. That's why we're all here, okay? So if you would like to keep up to date with all of my other hilarious jokes and makeup tips, feel free to please subscribe by pressing the red button that says subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at Sneaky Louise, Snapchat, I'll put it all in the description bar below. Thank you so much again, and I hope to be back soon. Bye!